Hello my lovely friends, welcome back to the channel. Nice to see you again and welcome to a tutorial. Yes, we're doing tutorial today. Very kind of a basic, let's put it this way, but hey, everything starts from somewhere and sometimes basic is the best. So today I'm gonna show you how I shoot my cocktail photography for Instagram and for my thumbnails. So it's nothing about professional photography here. I'm saying of the level if you work with clients and you need to create compositions, different lighting, more complicated things about presenting a product or obviously advertising a product, because this involves a little bit more than what I'm gonna show you today. Today it's a bit simpler because it's a basic setup which if you have a studio or you shoot at home like I do and you do YouTube or Instagram, this could help you for anything else, not just for the cocktails like in my case, but you can shoot products, you can do anything using some of these setup and ideas and settings, so you can elevate a little bit your photography. Now, if you watch my previous videos about the small space which I use and the one stand setup, all this is coming in place as well in these videos. So if you didn't watch them, I'll suggest go and have a quick look. It may give you some ideas if you're stuck on something or you're kind of wondering how to set up your small space to achieve results, which I'm going to show you today. As you can see, my softbox, it's nearly in my face, but this is because it's a small studio and this thing on the one stand, when it's camera, everything is on this stand at the moment, so I can just spin it around and shoot for the different channels. Is it going to be for cocktail channel, just shake or stir, mixology hacks? Whatever I do, it's very easy for me to shoot video and then turn around, quick setup, rearrange the setting and shoot the cocktail. In general, I do like to shoot the cocktail in advance before I actually even film the video. First of all, because I make sure the cocktail which I present, it's exactly what I want to present, it's fitting the glass which I choose, and obviously it is what I want to bring to my audience. Also, it gives me the opportunity to concentrate just on my photography without rushing after filming the cocktail, changing everything very quick, because as you know, you've been in bars, when you get a cocktail or a drink, they start condensing from the ice, or maybe because they're cold, it starts dripping on the glass. So you have so many different small elements which can ruin your photo. Obviously, if it's just a quick photo on your phone to share on social media where you're enjoying yourself, that's a different story. But when you're presenting something and you want the audience to see what they're gonna watch or what they can make at home or in their bar, you gotta give a little more kind of a setup and a work and make it as presentable as possible without over making it, okay? So, too much complicated words, I don't know what. Anyway, listen guys. It's pretty simple. I do use speed light sometime, but this is only if I want to catch something in action. So let's say I do a free pouring, or maybe I drop ice, or maybe I drop garnish in the cocktail, or there's a movement in the picture which it's kind of a creating lifestyle photography, but I need this movement to be nice and crisp and not blurry, to be in the focus. Then I need to use the speed light, which is probably 5% of my photography. The 95% of the photography which I do, it's all continuous lighting. So not to waste any more time, I'll just show you quickly the setup. I'll walk you through the lighting which I'm using, then I'm gonna make the cocktail. I will shoot the cocktail and we'll jump to Lightroom very quickly to show you the final results and how I kind of edit my pictures. This is for what I like and what I want my audience to see. Obviously, you don't have to follow 100%, but it may give you some ideas and may help you, okay? So on this side, as you can see, I have the big soft box. This is staying on a Godox SL60, which it's usually, I never go over 60%, and also it's on 5600K setup. Daylight, this is not a big color, it's just normal daylight. On this side, you won't see it now, you'll see in a second, I have one more of these small newer LED tubes. Now they're fantastic, very affordable, very bright, with lots of options. You have lots of pre-programmed lights inside. But for me, because when I shoot photos, they're always on 5600K. Daylight, when I shoot videos, I use this as a backdrop for my bar, but I change to a warm light. So it's basically one press of the button, and you see how bright is this. This is on 70% at the moment. I have one on this side just to fill up my face, but I use these two basically to create kind of a backlight behind the cocktail, and I'll show you now. So I use two of these, and I have, of course, two LED panels newer, which it's flat panels. They're always kind of like a 50-60% as well. Set up exactly the same, 5600K. You may say it's too much lights. Yes, probably it is, but during the years I kind of get a little bit of here, a little bit of there, and I end up with this lighting. So I'm using it now to create nice kind of a lighting around my cocktails. But trust me, when I start just with the two LED lights, with the two LED panels, and then I just use the Godox SL60, to be honest, for most of my photography. The only difference was that I had to move the lighting from left to right, sometimes maybe using a white cardboard just to reflect back. So I had to do maybe a few shots from different lighting angle and combine them together to achieve the results which I wanted. Nothing wrong with that. It may take a little extra time, but it's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you have just one lighting, you can still do it, okay? So let me show you the full setup. Okay guys, so as you can see, I have the window behind, which I usually use on videos because it's nice to throw some daylight, not that much about the cocktails. Sometimes I can shut the blinds, especially if I shoot bottles, because I don't want any reflections coming from the window to the bottle. On the top, we have one of the flat panels, which is basically just throwing light all around the room. It's a kind of a concentrate. You see I close the barn doors, so it's throwing exactly nice wash light on the table, which is the cocktail. Then we have the Godox SL60 with a big softbox with a grid. Very important to use grid so you can control the position of the light, where it's going, and you can kind of not leave it to wash everywhere and throw reflections, okay? Then we're going down to the table. This is where is the cocktail is gonna be shoot. This is usually my background recently, but I can always put a different background if I want. As you can see, the small newer lights just staying on the chair, throwing some lights on the background of the cocktail. And then we have another one just on the shelves on the side. As I mentioned, they're magnetic. You can use them on any tripod or any stand. You can just clip them there. But this is it. This is the other one. Of course, we have the glass here. And on this side, just to show you quick, we have another flat newer panel, also throwing some lights to the glass. And this is my camera. We're shooting on a Sony A7C, and we are shooting on 35mm lens. Originally it's 1.8, but I barely shoot on 1.8, but today we are going to do it exactly on 1.8. And yeah, so let me move backwards so you can see the whole setup. And this is it. That's where the magic is gonna happen. Okay, as you can see, nice little setup. As I mentioned, these LED tubes from Neewer, it's absolutely fantastic. If you need something mobile or something which can stick on metal surface, or you want some fill lights, it's absolutely unbelievable, because just with one click of the button, you can change the setting. See? That's my warm backdrop for the bar when I shoot videos. If you want some kind of effects, strobes and things like that, you can use it. But it's basically, once you program the light, it's so nice and easy. The battery stays for a very long time once it's charged. And it's just a beautiful thing to have in your camera bag. Even if you go and travel somewhere and you may end up in a bar somewhere you like what they do and you want to, you know, speak with them and they say, yeah, let's make some pictures. This thing is going to save you, because it's going to bring you this extra light which you need sometimes to represent a cocktail or a product. So I'm going to leave a link in the description to all the things which I use. Obviously, I don't think these panels from Neewer it's anymore in production. but you get the idea. They still make wonderful LED panels which you can use as a continuous light. So without further ado, I'll make the cocktail and we're gonna shoot the cocktail. So let's crack on. All right, boys and girls, welcome home. Now, if you want to learn about this cocktail or any other cocktails, you can always visit Just Shake or Stir channel and learn more about cocktails. Of course, today it's not about recipe, it's about shooting cocktails and shooting. It's about making pictures, okay? So, the cocktail is on the table, my camera is set up now. Setting on the camera is depends, sometimes can change because obviously I may decide to close the blinds down and I need a little bit more lighting. In general, I always keep the same setting. So my camera, it's on ISO 500 f1.8 and it's one of the 50th shutter speed. So I can play with the ISO, with the shutter speed, with the focal point, of course, but I always try to keep it on 1.8 to 2.8, depends of the cocktail. If I, for example, shoot a bottle or a more difficult glass, I like to bring it up to 2.8, so I have a little bit more separation and crispiness on the line of the glass. In this case, 1.8, it's absolutely fine. It's on a tripod, so nothing moving. If I want to be extremely steady, I can obviously put the timer on it, but it's absolutely fine. So I'm gonna take a few photos because that's all I need. When you're sharing on Instagram or making a thumbnail, you're presenting one photo. There's no lifestyle photo here of me pouring the cocktail or doing anything like that. Now one thing, guys, boys and girls, what you can do is with these little newer tubes, like I mentioned, let me get in the frame. Okay, I'll put here. So what you can do, you can play with the background of your cocktail or product or whatever you're using. So, for example, at the moment, if I just go on my setup, I have them already pre-made, the setups. So this is my warm setup for the backdrop of the bar. But if I want, because the cocktail is kind of a pink, I want to introduce a different backdrop on the back, I can just change easily the colors. There you go. I just go for a nice pale pink, let's put it that way. And I can just go on the back and introduce a little bit of magenta, and I can take a shot like that and just have a little bit of color behind it. Obviously, you can match the color as close as possible to the cocktail if you want. Like this is very nice and fresh pinky. I can use that. However, there's many opportunities. Obviously, I don't need with this cocktail to do that because I want it to be whatever it is. I just want my standard setup, which people are used to my photography and they know what to expect. But hey, experiment, okay? So we're ready with the cocktail. I think it's time to move the pictures to the Lightroom and just to show you how I quick edit. So this cocktail doesn't require garnish, doesn't have anything special. Sometime I may put on the back a bottle which I'm using if I work with a brand. So at the moment, because it's just a cocktail which I'm setting up for my YouTube videos, for my cocktail channel, it's gonna be just the cocktail. But of course, we will do a tutorials when I can use bottles or lifestyle pouring and all these kind of things, so you can see the difference. All right, I'll see you on my desk in a second. Okay, my lovely friends, back to the computer. I'm just importing the photos, but one thing I wanted to mention is that the beauty of doing cocktail photography is that sometimes you gotta try them. In my case, I have to try them because I represent myself, my knowledge, and obviously I share with people around the world on my mixology hacks or Just Shake or Stir channel for cocktails. But being a cocktail photographer sometimes could be really nice. Just don't push it, okay? Cheers. Woohoo, beauty. So, oh, that's so nice. Very good, very, very good. Right, we have imported the photos. I just wanted to show you. So, usually what I do is just take a test shot in the beginning before I even shoot the cocktail. It's always good to prepare yourself in advance so you can kind of have the glass and everything in focus position where you want, because once you pour the cocktail, you don't have that much time before it starts probably condensing or the foam dropping down or anything else, you know, I mean, depends of the garnish you're using. So you gotta be prepared to be ready for the shot in a second. And that's what I do. So obviously I don't want these pictures, they will go in the bin. I need only one photo, and as you can see, I did different settings, starts from brighter, lower and lower. So depends what you're doing, what glass you're using and what you want to achieve with your photo. You can do this setting in advance. So this is the cocktail here, which it's absolutely fine, but it's quite still developing because it's using certain ingredients which make the foam. So I'm gonna go to probably the one which I did on the very end when it's already separate. And as you can see, this is the two photos. One is with the pink on the back, one is with the white. So both of them look fantastic and it's exactly what I need. If I zoom it out, it's quite good for me, that, to be honest. So what I usually do, I have, sorry, something going on, I need a drink. So what I usually do, as you can imagine, I have my setups already, which I can change things and colors and everything. And I'm pretty much ready with one quick click, depends what I want to achieve. Obviously, it depends on the picture profile I'm using on the camera as well. I can achieve different things. Oh, what's going on with my voice? Anyway, so let's say you want to just share on YouTube and you want to don't make too much edits. All I usually gonna do is gonna give the Lightroom Auto just to clear the photo, whatever Lightroom is thinking is the best, and then I'm gonna play around it, okay? Oh, look at that Peter McKinnon pack. I used to use this pack a lot before, very long time ago. Anyway, so I have my own setup. Of course, I don't want to go away too much from the reality of the cocktail. So I'm just going to give it a little clear up and being ready to share it with the audience. Now, this is one which I like, and this is another one which I like. We're gonna have to choose between them. Now, both of them have different filters. This which is with me, it's called Niam and Me. This is Niam, it's my colleague which present cocktails with me sometimes. So we have this kind of a setup for us, or the slow sip I call it, which is really nice just to present a cocktail in a nice environment, okay? So if we go with the slow sip and I go on my mask, as you can see, I've already have different masks here, which it's playing with the lighting, okay? So I'm gonna grab the first one, which is basically the lighting. And if I push it up, you see it's gonna push a lot of the lighting. So I will move this away from the cocktail. And then I'll go to the other radial filter, which I have, and I'm gonna bring a little bit darkness with this filter. And finally, I have one at the bottom, which I want to make it smaller, bring it at the bottom, and I'm gonna match it to be with kind of with a table circle, okay? And this I can play, bring more lights, bring more darkness. So I'm gonna bring a little bit more darkness here. This way the cocktail is gonna pop out. And if I wanna bring a little bit more lighting, I can do with this radial filter, because this is basically just bringing light to the glass. Okay, I'm pretty much done with that. Just want to straighten up a little bit. Let me just pretty much it's straight, but just to make sure the lines it's okay. And just going to crop just slightly. I want this table to be cropped pretty much like even. And I'm happy with that. This is the photo. It's a nice crisp on the top of the glass. You have this lovely blurriness from the end of the edge of the glass. The stem of the glass is blurry, so we're concentrating on the cocktail. Obviously, if you have a garnish in this cocktail, you will have maybe concentration on the garnish, different lighting, different things to achieve. But in general, I'm absolutely happy. So there you go, my lovely friends. I know it's not much of the editing, and if you're interested of how to create your own presets for a cocktails or how to edit, that's a totally different video I'm happy to make. These presets, which I have, saved me a lot of time, of course, and they're all set up for the same settings, which is quite good because I can do everything in advance, what I plan to film for the next few weeks, and then I can just concentrate on the filming the videos when I have the pictures already on standby for thumbnails and Instagram. Pretty much, this is it. Any questions, any requests, anything about the video, or you think I missed something to say, don't forget to leave a comment down below. And I'll see you again soon with another video. Who knows what it's gonna be, but probably it's gonna be related to drinks again, or maybe a bottle photography. We'll see. There will be something interesting. Bye-bye.